Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Shloka 16.
Aham karturaham jagyaha sadaham aham ausadam mantro aham hame brajya aham agni aham krutam.
In the next few verses, the Lord gives a glimpse into the various aspects of His infinite personality. He reveals His all-pervading nature. He says, "It is I who is the Vedic ritual, Kratu. I am the sacrifice, Yajna. I am the offering to ancestors, Swadha. I am the healing herb, Aushadham. I am the mantra, I am the ghee offered in the fire, I am the sacred fire, and I am the act of offering itself." This verse reminds us that every action can become worship. When done with devotion, all activities become sacred because God is present in every part of it. When we see God in every action, our whole life becomes a sacred offering. Shloka 17.
Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha Vedyam pavitrom karam rukusyama jadurevacha.
The Supreme Lord says, "I am the Father of this universe. I am the Mother. I am the Sustainer. I am the Grandfather. I am the object to be known through the Vedas. I am the sacred syllable Om. I am the Rig, Sama, and Yajur Vedas." Here the Lord explains that the Divine is the ultimate source and support of everything. He is the Father and the Mother because God gives birth to the universe and nurtures it with care and compassion. Dhata, Sustainer. He maintains and supports the entire creation. Pitamaha, Grandfather. Even the creators like Brahma originate from him. Vedyam, the ultimate goal of all spiritual knowledge and the Vedas is to realize God. Omkar, the sacred sound Om, represents the universal presence of the Divine. Rig, Sama, Yajur Vedas, the wisdom of the scriptures, also comes from him. Thus, the Lord teaches that the Divine is both the source of knowledge and the ultimate truth to be known. Shloka 18.
Gatir bharta prabhu sakhi nivasaha saranam suhud prabhavaha pralayah stanam nidhanam bijam abhayam.
In this verse, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna proclaims that He alone is everything for all that exists. The goal, the supporter, the master, the witness, the home, the refuge, and the true friend. He is also the origin, the dissolution, the foundation, the resting place, and the eternal seed of the universe. Here the Lord describes the many roles He plays in the universe and in our lives. Gati, goal. He is the ultimate destination for all spiritual seekers. Bharta, sustainer. He maintains and nourishes the entire universe. Prabhu, Lord Master, the supreme controller of everything. Sakshi, witness. He silently observes all actions and thoughts. Nivasa, abode. All beings exist in him. Sharanam, refuge. When we surrender, he protects us. Surit, true friend. He always wishes the welfare of every being. Pravava, origin. Everything begins from him. Pralaya, dissolution, everything ultimately returns to him. Sthanam, foundation, the universe rests upon him. Nidhanam, resting place, the final resting place of all existence. Avyayam Bijam, imperishable seed, the eternal cause behind creation. To understand this verse clearly, a good example is the ocean and the waves. Waves rise from the ocean, exist in the ocean, and finally merge back into the ocean. Similarly, all beings come from God, live in God's creation, and eventually return to Him. God is not only our creator, but also our protector, witness, friend, and our ultimate destination. Shloka 19.
तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षं निगृहामि उत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदा चाहम् अर्जुन.
I give heat to the world as the sun. I control the rain by sending it or withholding it. I am immortality and also death. I am both the eternal spirit and the temporary material world. The Supreme Lord explains that all natural forces and the cycles of life are expressions of the divine. Heat of the sun is the energy that sustains life, comes from him. Rain, which nourishes the earth, is under his control. Immortality, that is the eternal soul, comes from him. Death, that is the end of the physical body, is also part of his divine order. Sat and Asat, he is both the visible world and the unseen spiritual reality. This teaches us that everything in nature and life happens within God's universal presence and power. Shloka 20.
त्रैविद्यं मां सोमपः पुता पापा यज्ञैरिष्टा सर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोको मस्नन्ति दिव्या दिवि देवभोगान्.
In this verse, the Lord describes the orientation of the people who follow Vedic rituals to get specific rewards and worship Him through ritualistic sacrifices or yagyas. They follow the rituals described in the Vedas and drink the sacred soma juice, which is the remnant of these sacrifices. They perform these sacrifices to earn merit or punya, seeking pleasures of heaven. By their good deeds, they reach the heavenly world of Indra and enjoy divine pleasures there. Shloka 21.
ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयीधर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामा लभन्ते.
These people enjoy the vast pleasures of heaven for some time, but when their merit or punya that had taken them there is exhausted, they return to the mortal world. Thus people who seek enjoyment through rituals continue to move in a cycle of going and returning. For example, someone works very hard only to go on a luxurious vacation. The vacation is enjoyable but temporary. When the money runs out, they must return home and start working again. Similarly, rituals done only for rewards may give temporary enjoyment like heaven, but they do not give permanent liberation. Shloka 22.
अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
Those who always think of me with single-minded devotion, worship me sincerely, and who are constantly absorbed in me, for them I personally take care of what they need and protect what they have. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna uses the words Yoga Shemam Vaham Yaham, meaning I personally carry the burden of their maintenance. Yoga, that is acquisition. The Lord provides the necessary means or items that the devotee lacks, and Shema, that is preservation. He protects and preserves what the devotee already possesses. This beautiful verse serves as a comforting assurance that the devotee who practices Ananya Bhakti or exclusive and single-pointed devotion and is constantly united with him in thought and worship is never truly alone. By surrendering the burden of their life to the divine, the devotee finds that both their worldly necessities and their spiritual progress are actively cared for by the Lord. Shloka 23.
ये अपन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धया नित्वाः ते अपि मामेव पौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम्.
Even those who worship other deities with faith are actually worshipping me alone, O Arjuna, but not in the proper or complete way. This verse carries a deep spiritual insight. All forms of worship ultimately reach the one supreme reality. People may worship different deities, believing them to be separate. But the Supreme Lord is the ultimate source of all deities. Worship directed to other gods with sincerity still reaches him, but indirectly. The phrase avidhi purvakam, that is not in the proper way, means that the worship is done without full understanding of the supreme truth. It may give limited or temporary results, not the highest spiritual realization. For example, instead of watering the leaves and branches of a tree, it is the best to water the root. In this way, the whole tree gets nourished. All sincere devotion is respected and accepted, but direct devotion to the Supreme Lord leads to deeper understanding, complete spiritual fulfillment, and ultimately liberation or moksha. Shloka 24.
अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातस्त्यवन्ति ते.
I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices, but those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. The Supreme Lord deepens the idea from the previous verse. All yajnas or sacrifices, prayers, rituals, offerings ultimately go to him because he is the bhokta, that is the receiver or enjoyer of all offerings, and the Prabhu, that is the Supreme Lord who governs everything. However, many people perform rituals without knowing this truth. They do not recognize the Supreme Source behind everything, and because of this incomplete understanding, they fall down to the mortal world again and again, that is, they remain within the cycle of birth and death. Shloka 25.
यान्ति देवाव्रता देवान् पितॄन् जानति पितृव्रताः भूतानि जानति भूतेज्य यान्ति मध्यजाजिनोऽपि माम्.
The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna said, "Those who worship the Devas go to the Devas. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship the spirits or natural beings go to them. But those who worship me ultimately come to me." This verse explains a powerful spiritual principle. You reach what you focus your devotion on. Worship of the Devas like Indra, Agni, etc. gives temporary heavenly results. Worship of the ancestors leads to connection with ancestral realms. Worship of the spirits or material energies keeps one within the material cycle, but devotion to the Supreme Lord leads to liberation and eternal union with Him. Only devotion to the Supreme gives permanent freedom, that is moksha. Shloka 26.
पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्या उपहृतं अस्नामि प्रयात्मात्मनः.
If someone offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or even water, I accept it. This verse reveals the heart of true devotion, Bhakti. The Lord is not looking at the value of the offering. He is looking at the love behind it. Even the simplest things are enough. A leaf, a flower, a fruit, water. But the condition is it must be offered with pure devotion and sincerity. You don't need elaborate rituals. You can simply offer your food before eating. Say a small prayer, offer a flower, or just water with love. What matters is a deep bond with God, not complexity. Shloka 27.
यद् करोसि यद् स्वासि यजुहोसि ददासि यत् पश्यसि कौन्तेय तद् कुरुषो मदर्पणम्.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerity you perform, O Arjuna, do that as an offering to me. In this verse, Lord Shri Krishna teaches us a very practical and beautiful way to practice devotion. You don't need to live your daily life to be spiritual. Every action, big or small, can become sacred. The key is offering everything to God. This means work becomes worship, eating becomes gratitude, giving away becomes service, and discipline becomes purification. When you mentally dedicate all your actions to God, ego and attachment slowly dissolve. Even daily things like cooking food and offering mentally before eating, helping someone and doing it as service to God, doing your work in your workplace and dedicating it to the Lord. Turn every action into worship by offering it to God. This verse teaches karma yoga with bhakti. Stay active in life, but stay inwardly connected to God. Let go of the I am the doer feeling. This transforms ordinary life into a continuous spiritual practice. Shloka 28.
शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनै सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपेष्यसि.
By offering all your actions to me, you will be freed from the bondage of good and bad results. With a mind united in renunciation, you will become liberated and come to me. Normally, every action creates karma. Good actions yield positive results, and bad actions lead to suffering, but both tie us to the cycle of birth and death. However, when we offer every action to God, we are freed from attachment to the results. We are no longer bound by karma. Instead, we become inwardly free and peaceful. This is Sannyasa Yoga, or inner renunciation, not running away from life, but letting go from within. This verse offers a powerful promise. When we live with this attitude, no karma can bind us. Our minds become pure. We move closer to the divine, and we ultimately attain union with God. That is, we attain moksha. Shloka 29.
Samoham sarvabhutesu name desosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mang bhaktya maite te suchapamaham.
Lord Sri Krishna said, I am equal to all beings. I do not hate anyone nor favor anyone, but those who worship me with devotion are in me, and I am also in them. This verse reveals a very deep spiritual truth about God's nature. God is completely impartial. God does not have favorites. He treats everyone equally, just like the sun shines on all. No one is inherently more loved or less loved by God. Then why do devotees feel special closeness? Because of their devotion or bhakti. Imagine a mobile network tower. The signal is available everywhere in the area. It does not choose who to give signal to. It is equal for all users. But if your phone is switched off, you get nothing. If your phone has a low signal or is in airplane mode, the connection is weak. If your phone is on and properly connected, you get clear calls, messages, and internet. God is equal to all, but devotion or bhakti brings you close to Him. Stay spiritually connected and you will feel God everywhere. Shloka 30.
Api cetasa suduracharo bhajate ma ananya bhat sadureva samantabhyaha samyagga vyavastito hi saha.
Even if the most misguided soul who has committed the vilest sins in the past turns to me with undivided devotion, they are to be revered as saintly, for they have made the right resolution of choosing the path of righteousness. This verse is very powerful and full of hope. No one is beyond transformation. Even a person who has made mistakes or lived wrongly, Sudurachari, can change. The moment they turn sincerely toward God, their direction changes. Sincere devotion matters more than past actions. It is not your past that defines you, but your present intention and sincerity. If someone wholeheartedly remembers God and decides to walk the right path, they are already considered a sadhu. Right resolve is the turning point. Samyak Vivasita means a firm decision and a clear inner transformation, like turning your vehicle from the wrong road to the right one. Even if you are far away, you are now heading in the right direction. God does not label you by your past mistakes. He sees your heart and your intention right now. A sincere turn toward God can transform even the darkest past. Shloka 31.
Khiprang bhavati dharmatma sasvachanting nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranasyati.
Very quickly such a person becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O Kaunteya. Declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. This verse is a continuation of the powerful idea from the previous verse. Even if the most wicked wrongdoer turns sincerely towards God with devotion, he quickly becomes dharmic, righteous. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Because true devotion purifies the heart fast, he attains lasting peace, Shashvat Shanti, a deep, steady calmness inside, not temporary happiness. The divine assurance given by the Supreme Lord in this verse is one of the most comforting promises in the Gita. Na me bhakta pranashyati. God never abandons a true devotee. A true devotee of the Lord is never lost. No matter what your past is like, sincere devotion can quickly transform your life. Just like a dark room becomes bright the moment a lamp is lit in it, God will never let his true devotee fall. Shloka 32.
Mahi partha vyapasrityo epishu papayo nayaha striya vaishyastatha sudro stepi janti param gatim.
Anyone who takes refuge in me, regardless of birth, gender, race, caste, or social standing, reaches the highest spiritual destination. At the time of the Bhagavad Gita, society was structured with rigid social hierarchies. This verse does not support inequality, rather, it radically transcends it. Lord Krishna emphasizes that spiritual realization is not restricted by birth, gender, or social position. Bhakti, devotion, is open to all. Even those labeled as Papa Yonaya, born in difficult circumstances or lower conditions, can reach the highest truth. In ancient times, women were often excluded from Vedic learning. However, the Lord clearly says they too can attain liberation. Vaishyas, traders, and Shudras, workers, who were not traditionally given access to spiritual study, are equally eligible for the supreme destination, Param Gatim. This verse subtly asserts a universal law, the divine response to devotion, not social identity. No matter who you are or where you come from, sincere devotion alone can lead you to the highest truth. Shloka 33.
King punar brahmanaha punya bhakta rajasvayastata anityam asukham lokum imam prapya bhajasva mam.
How much more easily, then, do the righteous Brahmanas and the devoted royal kings attain the goal. Therefore, having come into this temporary and joyless world, engage in my devotion. This verse is a continuation of the last one. Lord Krishna just said that even those considered lower by society can attain the highest goal through devotion. So naturally, those already living righteous and disciplined lives can progress even more smoothly. The Lord gives a powerful reminder about the nature of this world. This world is anityam, temporary, and asukham, full of suffering, and is not truly satisfying. The world is constantly changing, and it can never give permanent happiness. Even our best moments don't last forever. Lord Krishna is guiding Arjuna and us. He says that instead of getting lost in a temporary world, anchor yourself in the eternal, the divine. Bhajasva Mam. Worship me, be devoted to me. In a temporary world, devotion to the Supreme Lord, who is eternal, is the only lasting refuge. Shloka 34.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजिमां नमस्कुरु माम वैश्यसि युक्तैवम् आत्मनं मत्परायणः.
The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna said, "Always think of me, be devoted to me, worship me, and offer obeisances to me. Having dedicated your mind and body to me, you will certainly come to me." This verse is a complete summary of Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. The Lord provides a very direct and practical way to reach Him. Man mana bhava, think of me. Keep your mind connected to God even while doing daily work. Mad bhakta, be my devotee. Develop love for God, not just ritual, because true devotion comes from the heart. Mad yaji, worship me. Offer whatever you do, work, food, prayer, as an offering to God. Mam namaskuru, bow to me. Practice humility and let go of ego. Mat parayana, be fully surrendered to me. Make God your ultimate goal. Stay connected to God in mind, heart, and action. This alone leads you to Him.
Jai Shri Krishna.